Hi everyone. I want to spend the next few minutes talking to you about customer service for people in wheelchairs. I'm especially targeting this for the cashiers, but what I have to say also will apply if someone in a wheelchair asks for help reaching for an item on a shelf and generally around the store. So the first key point that I have for you is to take a look at the person's joystick. So that's the controller for their wheelchair. The joystick is going to give you a hint of the person's ability to use their hands. So if you have a joystick like mine, it means that there's use of the fingers. Now there's another type of joystick where it's like this. You could think about it as someone who has a prosthetic arm or a limb and only the thumb opens and closes. That person will need more help than someone who's got the use of their fingers. Now there's also a type of joystick that the person actually blows into something like fish tank tubing, and their breath is interpreted by the wheelchair's computer and drives it left, right, forward and back and controls the speed of it. Now, obviously a person that's using that is likely to have a severe spinal cord injury or similar debilitating illness or injury, and that person would need a lot of assistance. So you could start by taking a look at that so you can phrase and have your interaction that's appropriate for the person. How may I help you? Would be someone who's got the use of their fingers and may not need a lot of assistance. So by saying, how may I help you, for someone with a wheelchair's joystick like mine, you're asking them to direct their care. You're preserving dignity and respect towards the person who needs the wheelchair and inviting them to direct you how to help with maybe loading the bags on the wheelchair. It could be a matter of sorting out money for making the payment for their purchase. Similar activities like this is what I have in mind. Now, if you see a person whose joystick, basically has a solid hand, it's just little movements like this, may I help you with loading your wheelchair? Or you could also use the generic question of how may I help you? But if you're making yourself available to someone who doesn't have as good of hand use, what you're doing is entering into that person's world. And you're able to do it in a way that still preserves the dignity of that person. You can build a loyal customer for your store if you do this right. Then if obviously a person that's got the tube for breathing, similar to fish tank tubing, will need a lot of assistance. Would it be okay if I load your bags onto your wheelchair for you? Do you need me to call a cab? Is there anything else that I can do for you? So open-ended questions, and it gives the person the permission to talk about their disability, and most importantly, you're creating a safe environment for that person to share their needs with you. I do want to highlight, there's days when my pain's bad. And, for example, the lifeguards at the pool who know me, can tell how I'm doing after talking to me after about 3 sentences. So you may get a snappy response periodically. It's not automatically that you've done something wrong. There's just a lot that goes on with this lifestyle that happens in their home environment that's really challenging. So I don't want you to take it personally if someone's having a rough day. It may not be directed at you. So, open-ended questions, dignity and respect, and the final lesson of this, is there anything else? For the employees who work in the aisles of stores, or as it's sometimes called, the trenches, simply letting the person tell you what they want to buy and then reaching for it and asking where to place it works really well for me. And then, is there anything else I can do for you? Do you need other assistance? Could I help you find something else in the store? And you'll get a yes or no answer, and the interaction will reach a natural conclusion. So I tell you this so that you're helping people like me when we're out shopping, and to help your workplace be enjoyable. You know, I spent about 2 years doing inbound customer care at a call center. And for most of that time, I was one of the top 10 rated agents and got involved with training at the call center. You know, I really enjoyed it. What made it worthwhile and so enjoyable was my teammates. It was sort of my work group, the 8 or 10 people that were there during the same shift and had the same supervisor as me. They were the ones that really made the job worthwhile. So I encourage you to build your team. It takes a while to share what's going on and to trust someone to get beyond the casual conversation. You'll find that the relationships at work can be really rewarding, and a job as cashier doesn't have to be one that's negative or looked down upon. Your job is just as important as the rest of the staff because you're the face of the store while the customer's paying. I hope this gives you some help and direction in your life. If you have any questions, I'm certainly willing to talk about this more in the comments. I'm making this to help you. If there are things that you want to know about, please ask. I'm glad to answer. Thanks so much for this time that you spent with me today. Bye for now.